There are names in the history of science that shine like stars, names that stand above time, leaving marks so deep that the world itself becomes different after them. One of those names belongs not only to a brilliant mind, but to a woman of extraordinary courage and resilience. A woman who challenged prejudice, poverty, and the unknown. Her name was Marie Curie. Her life was not only a scientific journey, it was a fight. A search for knowledge in a world that insisted on denying her the right to learn. This is the story of Marie Curie, the woman who changed science forever. Childhood in Warsaw. The roots of a remarkable mind. Marie Curie was born Maria Skłodowska on November 7 in Warsaw, Poland, then controlled by the Russian Empire. Her parents, Władysław and Bronisława, were teachers who valued knowledge deeply. Growing up under political oppression, education was considered both a privilege and an act of resistance. From her father, Marie inherited a fascination for the world of physics and mathematics. He showed her scientific instruments, balanced scales and glass equipment. These were her childhood toys. They awakened a curiosity that would never leave her. Yet her childhood was marked by hardship. The family lost much of their money due to political turmoil. When Marie was only 10 years old, her mother died of tuberculosis. The loss left Marie emotionally withdrawn, but also determined at school she excelled. Yet there was one problem. Women were not allowed to attend university in Poland. The dream of higher education seemed impossible. Marie did not give up. The flying university and the years of sacrifice. In a Poland that restricted intellectual freedom, a secret network of underground classes emerged, known as the Flying University. Students met in private apartments, learning in secret to avoid arrest. Marie joined it and studied late into the night. But knowledge alone could not support her family. To help financially, Marie worked as a governess in the home of a wealthy family. It was difficult work. She was treated as inferior. She watched others study freely, while she dreamed of something more. She made a pact with her sister Bronia. Marie would finance Bronia's medical studies in Paris, and when Bronia graduated, she would help Marie come to France. It took years of sacrifice, but finally, the time came. At the age of 24, Marie Curie left Poland with a suitcase of worn clothes, a notebook, and a fierce determination to learn. Paris, hunger, cold, and knowledge. Paris was everything she hoped for. Libraries, laboratories, universities. It was a world alive with science. But Marie had almost nothing. She rented a small, unheated attic room, surviving on bread and tea. On summer nights, she fainted from hunger, yet she studied with all her strength. In 1893, she completed her degree in physics at the Sorbonne, ranking first in her class. 1 year later, she completed a degree in mathematics, ranking second. Paris was starting to notice her, and one man, in particular, would change the direction of her life. Pierre Curie. Love and partnership of the mind. Pierre Curie was a respected physicist, quiet, thoughtful, and deeply passionate about science. When he met Marie, he saw in her a mind unlike any other. Their relationship began through shared curiosity and endless conversations about the nature of reality. They married in 1895. Their wedding was simple. Their gift to each other was a pair of bicycles. They spent their honeymoon cycling through the countryside, discussing science, energy, and the mysteries of the world. Their partnership was genuine. They worked side by side, thinking together, discovering together. They had found in each other not only love, but purpose. The discovery of radioactivity. In 1896, scientist Henry Becquerel discovered that uranium emitted invisible energy. It was strange and unexplained. Marie decided to investigate. She measured, compared, and analyzed. She discovered that some minerals emitted far more energy than uranium alone could account for. Something new was hiding inside the rocks. Marie and Pierre began to work in an abandoned, poorly equipped shed. It was cold in winter, unbearably hot in summer. They processed tons of rock known as pitchblende, boiling, crushing, and separating it by hand. Their hands cracked and bled. Their bodies ached. Their clothes were stained with chemicals. After years of relentless labor, in 1898, they isolated 2 new elements. The first, Marie, named polonium, after her homeland, Poland. The The second she named radium, due to its powerful radiant energy. Marie also gave a name to the new phenomenon: radioactivity. This work changed the scientific world forever. Fame and tragedy. In 1903, Marie Curie and Henri Becquerel were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics. Marie Curie became the first woman in history to receive a Nobel Prize. However, neither she nor Pierre understood the danger of the materials they worked with. They held radium with bare hands, fascinated by the soft blue glow. They kept samples in their pockets. They believed them harmless. Tragedy struck in 1906. Pierre Curie died after being run over by a horse-drawn carriage. Marie was devastated. It was a loss beyond words. Yet she continued his work. She took his position at the Sorbonne, becoming the first woman to teach there. Her strength was quiet, powerful, unwavering. The second Nobel and the war. In 1911, Marie Curie received the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for her discoveries of radium and polonium and her pioneering work on radioactive elements. She became the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in different scientific fields. During World War I, Marie used her knowledge to help save lives. She developed mobile X-ray units and personally drove them to the battlefield. She trained doctors and nurses. She worked directly in military hospitals. Thousands of lives were saved. Marie Curie was not only a scientist, she was a humanitarian. Her final years and legacy, years of exposure to radiation, took a toll. At the time, the dangers were not known. Marie kept jars of radium glowing in her desk drawer. She slept next to samples. In 1934, Marie Curie died from aplastic anemia caused by radiation exposure. But her legacy continued. Her daughter Irene later won a Nobel Prize as well. Research institutes founded by Marie Curie continue to save lives today. Her notebooks remain radioactive and must be stored in lead containers. Marie Curie did not simply discover new elements. She opened a door to a new understanding of matter, of energy, of the invisible forces of the universe. Marie Curie showed the world that curiosity is powerful, that perseverance can break barriers, that knowledge is worth sacrifice. She did not seek fame. She did not seek glory. She sought understanding. And she changed the world. Marie Curie was, above all, a woman who believed that curiosity is the strongest force in the human spirit.